Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And a little bit of sunshine this morning, and it really started clouding up around noon. And then this afternoon, a lot of dark clouds moving over the Wenatchee Valley. This beautiful shot from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera looking back at the Wenatchee Valley. And you can see just a little bit of sunshine trying to peek through those clouds. But we are in the midst of a pretty big weather pattern change where we will see some snow shower activity beginning tonight, about a 30% chance of that, and then an even better chance tomorrow. But also tomorrow, we are going to see some strong winds. In fact, 30 to 35 mile an hour winds are possible. These are wind gusts, folks, and this is for Wenatchee. We could see some down tree limbs, maybe even some down power lines at times. A good chance also that we will see snow showers on our Thanksgiving Eve for Wednesday, about a 60% chance for it. And this came down from the National Weather Service, specifically talking about Chelan, Leavenworth, and Wenatchee. We really have the best shot at seeing about 1 to 3 inches of snow, but with that wind, we are going to see some cold wind chills and some blowing snow. And we'll talk much more about that situation coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Grant County Sheriff's Office is asking the public to be alert for arsonists who've been starting haystack fires. The Wenatchee School Board will have to fill 2 vacant seats rather than 1 after its new members are sworn in tonight. And anti-tax activist Tim Eyman is formally announced his candidacy for Washington governor on Monday. But first we begin tonight. A 70-year-old Palisades man was convicted Monday on multiple charges of child molestation. After a 2-day trial, a Douglas County jury took 5 hours to find James William Cook Sr. guilty on 5 counts, including 2 first-degree charges. Deputies arrested Cook in October of 2018 after disclosures from 2 children who said he molested them multiple times last year. Cook, who'd been free on $100,000 bond since his arrest, was ordered back to the Okanagan County Jail after the Monday verdict. He'll be sentenced December 23rd when he could face more than 7 years in prison on each of those counts. The Grant County Sheriff's Office is asking the public to be alert for arsonists who have been starting haystack fires, causing tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage this year. Deputy Kyle Foreman, Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Office, said the Quincy and Ephrata areas have been hit especially hard.
In Grant County, since in 2019, there have been 14 fires involving haystacks. At least one of those was accidental. At least 9 were considered incendiary, which arson has not been ruled out and is likely, and then 2 were caused by spontaneous combustion. So what we're asking the public to do is, if they notice any suspicious activity around haystacks, especially at night, to call 911 so we can come investigate and see what's going on.
And in news late this afternoon, Grant County officials are now offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of that or those arsonists. Well, the Wenatchee School Board will have to fill 2 vacant seats rather than 1 after its new members are sworn in tonight. The school district says Tim Larson, who won election over incumbent Karina Vega Villa earlier this month, will not take the seat. That means his post and that of resigning member Sarah Knox will be filled by appointments named by the other 3 members. New board member Martin Barron and incumbent Laura Jakes will be sworn in tonight at the start of the regular school board meeting. Well, anti-tax activist Tim Eyman formally announced his candidacy for Washington governor on Monday. Eyman, who has led numerous state initiative drives, said he's running as an independent. If elected, Eyman vows to veto any tax increases. Today, Eyman was in a Seattle courtroom listening to a challenge to I-976, the $30 car tabs initiative narrowly approved by voters this month. He criticized both the judge and Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who is constitutionally required to defend the initiative. He called for all Washington drivers to refuse to renew their vehicle tabs as Seattle, Ferguson, and the judge, quote, conspire and collude to destroy our democracy, end quote. Governor Jay Inslee is seeking his 3rd term in the 2020 election. Coming up next, if you waited until the last day to mail in your election ballot, it probably didn't get counted because it was too late. In what unfortunately has become a holiday tradition, traffic on mountain passes is expected to be stop and go at times for Thanksgiving travelers this year. And a nice crowd turned out at a recent Grant County Commissioners meeting to give thanks and bid a fond retirement to K9 Grizzly. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
When it comes to our community, you can count on Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram to be invested. From supporting community college scholarships through a concert series or participating in a local high school homecoming event, Town Chrysler has always put the community first. Buying local supports the jobs and programs you care about most. When it comes time to buy your next new or used car, SUV, or truck, remember, there's no reason to leave town.
Some jobs take more than skill. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Geese Credit Union, we help you support law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, and veterans. With every purchase you make with a Geese Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Geese Local Heroes Affinity debit card.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back. In another news, if you waited until the last day to mail in your election ballot, it probably didn't get counted because it was too late. The November 6th election was certified last week by the Chelan County Canvassing Board. Doug England says hundreds of ballots were discarded because of a late postmark.
What we're pretty sure is happening is that people are dropping it in the mailbox well within work hours, but after the time that box is picked up. And even then, the mail goes all the way to Spokane and then comes all the way back. And we threw away an awful lot of ballots that were dated on the 6th that appear to be mailed in time, but we have no proof of that. And so we have to, no matter what the ballot is dated inside, we have to go by the postmark. And it's a concern that we have, and hope to look into it to get more either agreement with the post office that there'll be some kind of arrangement to get those postmarked early rather than having to go all the way to Spokane, but an understanding from the public that the safest place is to either mail it early or to put it in the numerous drop boxes that are around.
Meanwhile, in Douglas County, Auditor Thad Duvall says 56 ballots were thrown out because of late postmark. He recommends voters mail back their ballots no later than the weekend before the election. Well, in what unfortunately has become a holiday tradition, traffic on the mountain passes is expected to be stop and go at times for Thanksgiving travelers this year. The worst is predicted for Snoqualmie Pass on Wednesday and again Saturday and Sunday. On Wednesday, the heaviest traffic is expected from 1 to 5 p.m. eastbound on Interstate 90. Things will stay relatively calm until Saturday, when traffic is expected to be especially bad westbound on I-90 from about noon to 3 p.m. Sunday will be crowded, both east and westbound on I-90 in the afternoon hours. U.S. Highway 2, Stevens Pass, should be easier going with moderate to heavy traffic Wednesday and the weekend afternoons. It could be even worse if there's snow in the passes, so please drive carefully. Well, a nice crowd turned out to a recent Grant County Commissioners meeting to give thanks and bid a fond retirement to K9 Grizzly, the Grant County Sheriff's Office's first K9 officer. For 4 years, Grizzly has captured numerous suspects, and in February 2018, he helped save a life by tracking down a missing dementia patient. Grizzly will enjoy his retirement with his handler, Deputy Dave De La Rosa, who also will be handler for the department's newest K9, Hawk. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Are the rumors true, Corey?
Yes, and you're going to love what we're doing at Sangster Buick GMC. We're just $49 down delivered. Wenatchee Valley, winter is coming and we have your solution. Just $49 down and you're driving the vehicle of your dreams. All-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, new or used, virtually any make and model. GMC, Buick, Subaru, Honda, and much more. Yes, the rumors are true. Just $49 down delivered. Choose your vehicle. Compare price, service, and select. Sangster Buick GMC, sangstermotors.com. Caring about your family brings you back to ours.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Did you know that Thanksgiving is the #1 day of the year for home cooking fires? Many of these fires are the result of unattended cooking, and a number of these fires also involve turkey fryers. The State Fire Marshal's office has released a video that illustrates the dangers of deep frying your Thanksgiving bird.
We've recently tested several models of deep fat turkey fryers and find that this method of cooking can be very hazardous.
Looks like our partially frozen turkey is ready. Our temperature's at 350 degrees, so put the turkey in.
Units can be overfilled, and when that happens and a turkey is added, the oil spills out, causing the unit to catch on fire. Another one of our safety concerns with deep fat turkey fryers is their lack of stability. Watch how easy it is to tip it over. In our laboratory, we use water. Can you imagine if this were hot oil? In addition, these units do not have thermostatic controls, allowing the oil to overheat and posing a severe fire hazard. One of our concerns with deep fat turkey fryers is that the handles and the lid get very hot. So if you try to move it, as you can hear from the sizzling with these wet gloves, you could get a very severe burn if you touch that with bare skin. Based on our testing of the deep fat turkey fryers on the market today, we will not certify these with our trusted UL mark. We hope everyone thinks twice before using a deep fat turkey fryer, but if they do, they should exercise extreme caution. Always use these units outdoors, never on a wooden patio or in a garage. They should always be placed on a flat, level surface and never should be left unattended.
The State Fire Marshal Office is advising that residents plan ahead to ensure a safe, fun, and food-filled holiday. Here are some tips from the State Fire Marshal's office. Choose a fryer with a thermostat controls to prevent oil from overheating. That's very important. Also, before operating a turkey fryer, also read and follow the instruction manual, kind of basic information there. Thaw your turkey completely. Ice, and this is important, will cause hot oil to splatter, which is the cause of a lot of fires and burns from that. And finally, keep children and pets at least 3 feet away from the fire. 3 feet away from the fryer, that is, and not the fire. We don't want you to have a fire. Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Once again, let's take a beautiful look down at our valley from the Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera. You can see a little bit of wind blowing out there and a lot of lark kind of looming clouds, especially along the hilltops of the Cascades, and that will usher in some snow showers as we make our way into tonight, the overnight, and again on Wednesday. We'll get to that in a second. High temperature today unofficially in the Wenatchee area. Yeah, that's right, only 35 degrees, and that's below where we should be. 38 is our normal high. 23 is where we started the day, so that's a little bit below where we should be as well. 28 is our normal low temperature. 55 degrees, our record high. That was set back in 1995, and one of the coldest years ever in the Wenatchee Valley. I did check that out. 1985, once again, our record low, 5 degrees below zero. Precipitation today. To date, we are still at about 6.5 inches. That's from January 1st to today. Sunrise this morning was at 7:21, and look how early our sunset is now at 4:15. Let's take a peek and see how your Wednesday is shaping up. Thanksgiving Eve, and we are going to see a ton of wind and possibly about an inch or two of snow throughout the day tomorrow. 39 for Moses Lake, 38 Ephrata, 36 in Quincy, only 32 degrees in the Wenatchee area, and this area right here is where the Weather Service believes that we will see the most snow tomorrow, about 1 to 3 inches, and that's from Wenatchee up to Chelan and over into Leavenworth and Cashmere. So remember that as you are traveling around tomorrow. If you're traveling west over Snoqualmie Pass or Stevens, take extra time and be extra careful because it will be snowing and it will be probably slick with some wind, so maybe even blizzard-like conditions. Be very careful. Super surface loop. Yeah, I can talk. Surface loop tonight. Cloudy and chilly. We will see about a 30% chance of snow. Here's our area of low pressure and our big frontal boundary connecting to that low, and that's bringing some snow showers into north central Washington. This system will continue to dig down to the south, and the question it remains is, will it move far enough north to bring us snow? Most of that snow will stay into Oregon, but by Wednesday, that's when we will see the best shot of some snow, a 60% chance of snow. And look at how tight these barometric lines are. That means a lot of wind tomorrow. We could see wind chills only around 10 degrees, maybe even some single numbers. By Thanksgiving, most of the snow and storminess will move off to the east. Not as windy on Thursday, but we will see cold temperatures. All of this blue indicates 30 degrees for highs, and get used to that because we'll see that for the next few days. Friday to end our holiday week. Of course, it's Black Friday on Friday. Sunny and it will be cold. Not much wind. That's good news, but temperatures will struggle to make it out of 30 degrees for Friday. By Saturday, not much change temperature-wise. We'll see partly cloudy skies, unseasonably cold, and then a couple areas of low pressure will begin to develop by late Saturday into Sunday, and by Sunday, this low could bring us some scattered, isolated flurries. It will still remain on the cold side as we get into Sunday evening, but once again, a shot for some snow, and that means maybe even a little bit of snow as we move into our work week Monday as well. Mostly cloudy, just some isolated flurries. The good news by Monday, temperatures start to moderate a little bit. I think we'll at least get back to normal, and remember, high temperatures right now normally about 38 degrees. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 26 our overnight low tonight with a 30% chance for snow showers. This will be our best shot for snow, and it will be on Wednesday. I know a lot of you traveling, not very good timing. 32 for the the high on Wednesday. Only 31 on our Thanksgiving Thursday. Maybe a morning flurry giving way to mostly cloudy skies for Thanksgiving. Very cold overnight lows, though, of 14 degrees. Friday, Black Friday. If you're going to shop early, bundle up because it will be a chilly one. 30 for Friday. 29 is all for our high temperature on Saturday. 30, mostly cloudy and cold on Sunday. And then maybe some more flurries moving in late on Monday with a high temperature then of 34 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. The Wenatchee Wild picked up its third win in its last 4 games last night with a 2-1 victory over Prince George. After a scoreless first period, Wenatchee took the lead on Nick Caffarelli's 13th goal of the season about 7 minutes into the second frame. Matt Dorsey added another goal less than 3 minutes into the third, and the Wild held on for the victory. Art Checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Yeah, couldn't get a handle on the bouncing puck, and the Wild get the benefit of that. Back up to Bavaro, his shot, whistle, slew, shot, score! Nick Caffarelli punches home the rebound. Drew Bavaro took the shot from the point. Woodside made the left leg pad save, but the rebound sitting right there, and standing at the top of the paint was Caffarelli. He's able to tap it home, power play goal for Wenatchee. Swung along for Hastings and then into the skating lane for Chorsky. Chorsky up the middle, cuts to his right, dangles in front, backhander, and a save made. And the loose rebound covered up by the goaltender as Chorsky drove down the right side, cut hard to the front of the net, and instead of going right to the net, he angled across and went for the backhand. And Carter Woodside came up with yet another brilliant save. Wild win the draw, bounces back to the left point, held in by Tanner Main, then to Dorsey. He's in, shot, he scores! Boy, a nice crisp shot by Matt Dorsey. Sailed it home on the blocker's side, and the Wild now lead it 2-0. Tanner Main did a great job of holding the puck in over at the left point. And then Dorsey picked it up off the wall, stepped in, and from just above the top of the circle, let it rip. Flipped it along, Brodziak powers through center. Dished over on the far wing, backdoor pass, loose puck, swatted away. Right there on the goal line, the Wild dished it out, but then it's fired from the right wall and into the net. A lot of confusion in front, and then eventually from the right side, it was Evan Orr who ripped it through. Harrison Scott to take the draw for the Wild. Prince George wins the draw, back to the point, shot, tip just went wide, spun back out in front, broken up and played by Dorsey. He sends it careening toward the empty net, but it's wide as the horn sounds, and this one goes in the books. The Wild are able to hang on. Now the officials get together
I'm wondering if they're trying to see if there should be another half a second on the clock or not.
No time left on the clock. Wenatchee wins, and they continue their homestand with some post-Thanksgiving hockey against Nanaimo Friday, Langley Saturday. Both those games start at 7:05. Well, Wild fans got some good news today with the announcement that former Wenatchee player Sam Morton is returning to the team. Morton, a 20-year-old forward, played for the Wild back in the 16-17 and 17-18 seasons. He played the last season and a half at Union College and is expected to return to Wenatchee in early December. He plans to transfer to another NCAA school for the 2020-21 season. Morton was a member of the Wenatchee Wild that won the Fred Page Cup and Doyle Cup championships back in 2017. Well, 11 games into the NFL season, the Seahawks find themselves right in the mix of a playoff run. San Francisco leads the division with a 10-1 record. Seattle is second at 9-2. The Rams were demolished by Baltimore last night on Monday Night Football. They slipped to 6-5. Now, as far as the playoff picture is concerned in the NFC, here you see the current division leaders. On the left being the Niners, New Orleans, Green Bay, and Dallas. Wildcard teams as of today would be Seattle and Minnesota. The Rams also in the picture at 6-5 with 6 games left to play. Now, Seattle will host Minnesota Monday at CenturyLink Field. The Seahawks coming off that 17-9 win over Philadelphia Sunday, and according to Coach Pete Carroll, are still waiting to play their best game.
You know, I mean, you like to say, okay, everybody's hitting on all cylinders and we're flying high, but there's teams out there that are trying to keep that from happening too, you know. So it's hard to get that game. But what's important is that we're fitting off of one another and playing off each other, and the defense is really taking the step forward, which we need them to keep going, and we need the offense to keep going and get back to the best of them they have to offer as well, and to have a chance to finish like we want to. We have a terrific schedule coming up, challenges and all that, and we're going to have to play really well. I do think, though, it leads us to our best football still ahead of us, you know, and that's, you know, I've been pretty patient the way I've talked to you guys about it, you know, that, you know, we're making progress here, it's coming along, we'll see how it goes, we're, you know, still making adjustments. There's still things happening, you know, on our club, and I don't have any problem with that. We got to keep winning while we're figuring it out, though.
His Sunday's win over the Eagles, punter Michael Dixon had 5 punts down inside Philadelphia's 20-yard line with 2 inside the 5. Coach Carroll says that's exactly the kind of football he wants to play.
Situational play, you know, we have a couple things. I mean, I'll give you a couple shots here. One would be the kicks for sure for field position were huge in this game. The defense going out there after a turnover on the 33-yard line or whatever the heck it was and stopping them in 4 plays and getting the ball back. Huge situational sudden change play for the defense was enormous, you know, and we needed to happen. So I think those kinds of things are subtle in the game, but they're really enormous when you look and you come back to it. Backing the team up and putting them inside the 5-yard line is such a valuable thing. We have lived for years doing that. Run the football, play defense, and play good field position, and you're hard to beat when you play like that. And that's you know, we'd love to see that formula. Michael had a great contribution to that.
Seattle and the Vikings kick off Monday night, 5:15 on ESPN. Even though the winter sports season won't kick off until this weekend, you can get your fill of high school sports this week. The NCWLIFE channel begins tonight with Cascade and Cashmere soccer at 7 o'clock. Thursday night hockey features Merritt and the Wenatchee Wild at 7. Then on Friday, it's Wenatchee and Eisenhower football at 7 o'clock. Saturday features playoff soccer between Eastmont and Moses Lake at 2, followed by Cashmere and Omak football at 6:30. All right here on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel. Sports News, I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Tomorrow, of course, is one of the heaviest travel days of the year. Over 32 million people are going to be going someplace in this country tomorrow for the Thanksgiving holiday, and that includes you here in North Central Washington. If you plan on going over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, we will have your latest pass report. Also, we will let you know the best times to travel and the worst times to travel, and perhaps most important, your Thanksgiving holiday forecast for Wednesday, Thursday, and right into the weekend. Expect a busy and yet fun Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live Wednesday morning right here on this very studio. Grant, back to you.
Looking forward to it, Dan. Thanks. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.